How old do you have to be to drive, to marry, to drink, to vote, to serve in the armed forces, to be considered an adult? There are variations in all these parameters from place to place and country to country. There are arguments that are made for raising or lowering any of these legal ages. People are responsible at a certain age. They need protection from the world and from themselves, and we need to be protected from them. People are responsible at a younger age than we give them credit for. We should trust them. Certainly in the last few decades, we have seen changes in all of these ages because of new laws, because of the new realities in which we live. Childhood in some ways ends sooner, and in other ways continues longer. In general, people are getting married later if we choose to marry. More of us are waiting to have children and are starting our families later in life if we have children. We all know people who are wise beyond their years. Many of us comment on our perception that college students and healthcare professionals look younger to us with each passing year. We are not the only ones who have thought about how old one should be before taking on different types of responsibility. In Pirkei Avot, we read, at 5 years old, a person should be fit to study the scriptures. At 10 for the Mishnah, at 13 for the commandments, at 15 for the Talmud, at 18 for the bridal chamber, at 20 for one's life pursuit, at 30 for authority, at 40 for discernment, at 50 for counsel, at 60 to be an elder, at 70 for gray hairs, at 80 for special strength. This summary of a lifetime certainly outlines a life balanced between study, family, and work. This rabbinic source gives 20 as the age to follow one's life pursuit. The Torah gives 20 years old as the time to be counted for military service. We read in this week's Torah portion, Parashat B'Midbar, take a census of the whole Israelite community by the clans of its ancestral houses, listing the names, every male, head by head. You and Aaron shall record them by their groups, from the age of 20 years up, all those in Israel who are able to bear arms. At 20 years old, an Israelite male is ready to be counted and may be counted on to fight on behalf of the community. Hertz, in his commentary, notes that the aged, the infirm, the maimed, those who are unable to bear arms, and those under the age of 20 will be excluded from this census. He does not mention something that is obvious to us reading the text, that approximately half the Israelites will not be counted because they are female. Milgram's commentary to the Book of Numbers compares the age for conscription for the Israelites to what is known about other societies in the ancient world. In the classical world, the age for entering military service was 20 in Sparta, 18 in Athens, and 17 in Rome. We learn a few more chapters further in the Book of Numbers that the age range for another type of mandatory service, the service of the Levites, the priests serving the sacrificial cult, is from 30 to 50 years old. Even in the ancient world, the legal age for different types of mandatory service varies from society to society. Reaching a certain age means a set of new responsibilities, new obligations. Reaching a certain age might mean that a person is counted, but it does not mean that they can be counted on to fulfill their duties. There is more to it than just being a number, or in the case of this census, a name on a list. There is also the acceptance of the expectations that come with passing a specific birthday. In Pirkei Avot, it says that 13 is the time for the commandments. When we speak with B'nai Mitzvah students today, frequently they will say that marking the milestone of B'nai Mitzvah means that they are, and this is a direct quote over and over and over again, an adult in the Jewish religion. course, when we get right down to it, they are not adults at the age of 12 or 13 in the secular world or in the Jewish religion. B'nai mitzvah means becoming responsible for the commandments in the Torah. It is the increased accountability for how one is Jewish. It can be thought of as being someone who counts, particularly in a minyan, when 10 Jewish adults are needed to represent the community for there to be a worship service and certain prayers to be said. More importantly is becoming someone who can be counted on to be present when needed by the community. It is not just a chronological age. It is the acceptance of the responsibility and privilege that comes with reaching the age of being obligated for the commandments. Cantor Rachel Stock-Spilker, in the Torah, a women's commentary, reminds us that in our day, we have the need to count differently, to include everyone. She states, the Israelites may have needed parameters for whom to include and whom to exclude from the census described in Bamidbar, but we must remember why even those not tallied do, in fact, matter. Today, we may count every individual in our community, but may still discount how much they have to offer. The missing members in this parasha can teach us to reconsider what it means to count. As the numerous stories in the Bible and our lives remind us, even those not included are important, and all those we now seek to include genuinely are individuals with much to gain from and offer to our communities. Most of us in this room have long passed the age of becoming B'nai Mitzvah or becoming adults. It is important to keep in mind that we are more than just numbers, whether the number is our age or the number of Jews in our community. We count and we are counted on. We are both the expectations on us and the way that we fulfill those expectations after reaching a certain age. We contribute to the community both numerically and in the ways in which the community can depend on us.